Welcome into NBA Now by Chat Sports, coming your way an NBA mailbag where I take all of your NBA-related questions. We start off with this question coming in from your boy Fritz, a $5 super chat. Who would be a better fit for the Atlanta Hawks, and what would each bring to the team? Paul Millsap or Lauri Markkanen? I'd go with Lauri Markkanen. He's the younger player. I think he's the more dynamic player. I like Milsap as a veteran addition to a team, maybe like the Golden State Warriors, to round out that bench and that reserve unit. But Lauri Markkanen, the better player, because in terms of modern day value, he gives you a lot, because last year in a short sample size, he played less than 30 games because of injury. As a big man, he shot around 40% from distance. Terrence Williams with this question. Isaiah Thomas going to the Lakers. It's not even a question. It is just a statement. Last week on the Lakers Report by Chat Sports, we did talk about the Lakers' interest in Isaiah Thomas. There's expected to be some interest there as they look to fill out that roster as well. I'm not sure how much Isaiah Thomas is going to give you at this point of his career. Hasn't been the same player since he finished top 5 in MVP voting back in 2017 when he had that magical season with the Celtics, but that season was cut short because of that hip injury. He can come in off the bench and still score it, but he gives you nothing defensively. Nabia, hopefully I said that right. Can the Warriors get any more big players? There really aren't any more big players out there right now in free agency. Now, if you want to make a trade and trade away Jonathan Kuminga or Moses Moody, both of those guys cannot be traded until September. So that deal would not happen for another couple of weeks. And speaking of Kuminga and Moody, I'm not sure the Warriors want to trade or part ways with both of those rookies who you got at number 7 and number 14 in the NBA draft lottery, because, man, they have certainly flashed so far in the NBA Summer League. And even though Kuminga's nickname is Cum Bucket, he's been balling out. Next question coming in from the Atlanta Analyst. Hawks trade Cam Reddish in a second for Kyle Anderson in 2 seconds. By the way, love the show. Been here for 1.5 years now. And we've exchanged a lot of DMs on Instagram. Appreciate you, my guy. I don't know why the Hawks would trade Cam Reddish, especially considering how he played in the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, he missed so much time in the NBA playoffs, then Nate McMillan puts him into the lineup because of some of those injuries that happened, especially to Trae Young, and Cam Reddish was just popping Trae balls. So I think that you want Cam Reddish as a part of the young core who you're building with. You signed Trae Young to that rookie max. You got John Collins locked down for the next 5 years. Keep Cam Reddish as well as part of that young core. Yes, with this question. Do you think RJ Barrett is a top 125 player? 125? Yes. If that's a typo and you meant to say top 25 player, my answer to that would be no. But RJ Barrett certainly has the potential to at some point be a top 25 player. Marshall Green, the producer for today's show, big Knicks guy, big RJ Barrett guy. We were so impressed by the leap that he took from his rookie year coming out of Duke to what he did last year when he averaged 17.5 points per game and was really an efficient shooter from distance, which wasn't his strength coming out of Duke. I think it's only fair to say that Barrett and his stock only going to continue to rise. ANEESH ANAND, who are you most impressed with in the NBA Summer League? So many guys. Guys who I thought were raw going into the draft, but have proved to be more ready to play than I thought. Jonathan Kuminga, as well as Alperen Şengün. I think both of those guys are going to be able to play right away and contribute a lot for their teams. Kuminga with the Warriors. Şengün, I think, should be the starting center. Don't start Daniel Tice. Let him get all of the starting minutes as he gets acclimated with the NBA. Other players who I've been impressed with, Jalen Green, even though he's out because of hamstring tightness. Jalen Suggs was awesome. Cade Cunningham has been shooting really well from distance. There are so many guys who I've been impressed with in the NBA Summer League. Davion Mitchell, Tyrese Maxey, Desmond Bane with the Grizzlies, a couple of second-year guys there. So a whole handful. I could honestly talk about those dudes and those cats for like an hour. Slimey Robbie, is there anyone besides Markkanen the Mavs could realistically add? Look, the talk for the Mavericks has centered around trade rumors with Lauri Markkanen as well as Goran Dragic. So outside of Markkanen, I'd probably say Goran Dragic, because I'm not convinced that Dragic is going to be on the Raptors. And I'll tell you this, if the Mavericks, who made a lot of B-level signings in NBA free agency, end up being able to pull the trigger on Markkanen and Dragic, I think that'd be a pretty nice haul in his first offseason as a GM for Nico Harrison. Because I think those players kind of just give you a boost. Now, in order to bring in Markkanen, do you trade away Kristaps Porzingis? Because I'm not sure about the on-court fit. Possibly. But the two names that I'm centering in on, based on what I think with fit and the reports that I've been seeing and hearing, Markkanen and Dragic. Do you think the Mavs should trade for Markkanen? Let me know. Sound off in the comments section. This is a player who has had some injury issues over the last few years, but as a big man who can shoot it, I think he still has a lot of value. Let's move ahead in this mailbag with this question coming in from David Buck. Better fit for the Lakers, Wesley Matthews, Paul Millsap, or JJ Reddick? Keep up the good work, brother. My guy, appreciate you. The best at-home dad on the chat today. Best fit for the Lakers. Wesley Matthews and Paul Millsap are much better defensive players than JJ Reddick. But JJ Reddick is a much better shooter than those two guys. I think that JJ Reddick can still be a marksman from deep. So many injury issues last year for him that were just nagging things, nothing too serious. JJ Reddick can light it up from a shooting standpoint. He can't defend worth a lick. For the Lakers, I'd like to see Reddick on that roster. Not sure he's willing to take a sizable pay cut, but I think Wesley Matthews and Paul Millsap also fit. Bryan Cooke, do you see the Raptors as a playoff/title contender? If not, what do they have to do to become one? No, not right now. What do they have to do to become one? Continue to develop some of the talent on that roster. The Raptors have been one of the best organizations at developing talent. You look at what they did with Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan over time, and then more recently with OG Anunoby, Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakkam. I expect that organization to do the same with Scotty Barnes. But they're in a retooling or rebuilding phase right now. Continue to develop some of the young pieces on that roster. That's what I'd say for Toronto. Michael, thank you for this question. Do you think Jalen Green could be a top 10 player in the league in 7 years or so? No doubt. And if you ask me why, it's what I've said over the last couple of months, especially leading into the NBA draft, where I had Jalen Green basically as the player 1A on my top 100 big board, right behind Cade Cunningham. I like Jalen Green because his scoring ability will immediately translate. And you saw it translate in the NBA Summer League. This is a guy who is hyper athletic. He's really bouncy. Reminds me in that regard of Zach LaVine and Bradley Beal. He can get a shot off from anywhere on the floor. He can put the ball on the deck. He's athletic enough to finish around the rim and throw down dunks and hang amongst the trees. Maybe he's not the greatest defensive player, but the most important attribute you can have as a draft prospect right now, scoring ability. Jalen Green has it, and it honestly would not surprise me one iota if Green, as a rookie, averages 20-plus points per game. NBA Now is presented by BetUS. If you like laying down some money on the NBA or the NFL, there's no better deal out there from any sportsbook in the entire world than this deal from our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Head to chatsports.com/bet. Enter the promo code CHAT125. You get a 125% deposit bonus. So when you deposit $100 in your account, you get $225 of basically free money to wager on. It's the best. NBA champion odds. Maybe you want to put some money down and lay some wagers on this. Nets leading the way at 5-2 odds. Lakers at 3-1 odds. Bucks at 9-1. Warriors, pretty good value, 11-1 odds, meaning if you put $1 down, you get $11 back if the Warriors win the title. Get those bets in. Lay down those wagers. Put down the lettuce. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code CHAT125. You have to use that link at the bottom of your screen and that promo code for that deal to apply. Ready, Freddie, XOX. So we trading Simmons for Lillard or what? Can't deal with another year of Simmons playing scared. And here at Chat Sports, we're never scared. Ready, Freddie? He ain't scared. You know who was scared and allergic to shooting the basketball last year? Ben Simmons. I cannot get that image out of my head in Game 7 of him around the 3-minute mark in a close game just giving up a free dunk because he said he thought Danilo Gallinari was right behind him and was going to block his shot. Homie, at 6'10", 6'11", 240 pounds, you got to rise up and throw that thing down. And in the fourth quarter, in all 7 games, Ben Simmons took a combined 4 shots in the fourth quarter in all of those games. Unacceptable. I do expect a trade to happen with Ben Simmons on that front. I'm not sure when it's going to happen. Some things have died down during the NBA Summer League. What we've kind of been hearing and what some of the reports have indicated is that the Sixers would like to get a deal done prior to training camp, and some NBA insiders expect a deal to happen sometime in training camp. But 2 weeks ago, Kendrick Perkins had said Ben Simmons is so tired of Philly that he might not report the training camp until a trade happens. I think the writing is on the wall. I think Simmons will not play for the Sixers next year. As for when a trade is going to happen, let's say in the next couple of months. Spill 99 with a couple of nice emojis there. Can Pascal Siakkam get traded to Detroit? So if you're watching us on our live show, as we record this during NBA Now Live on Monday, there are new reports out there that the Raptors are leaning toward not trading Siakam. So I take stock in that because it comes from a very credible reporter and Sam Amick of The Athletic. Siakam wants to stay in Toronto. The Raptors want to hold on to Pascal Siakam, so I do not think he's going to get traded to Detroit. Jeremy's Chronic. You smoking that Chronic. Who would you start at point guard if you were Tom Thibodeau? With how Immanuel Quickley has been playing, I'd probably go with Immanuel Quickley. He has really flashed so far in Summer League. He's been balling out. I worry a little bit about his creation ability with him passing the rock and his vision. But from a scoring point of view, Immanuel Quickley shot it pretty efficiently last year from all 3 levels. He's been even better in the NBA Summer League. So I'd probably go Immanuel Quickley. He shot around 40% from deep last year. Would you agree? I think that's the smarter play, right? To go with Quickley. I like the upside of him, so I'd start him if I was Tibbs. Who do you think starts at point guard, though? Kemba Walker, Derrick Rose, type KW for Kemba, type DR for Derrick Rose. If you think it's going to be Immanuel Quickley, you can get that name in the comment section as well. The 2K King, are the Warriors title contenders? If you're watching us on our live show, we're going to be breaking down our NBA power rankings, so stay tuned for that. I do think the Warriors are title contenders if Klay Thompson can stay healthy. And I think if Klay Thompson is healthy, and I'm not even asking him to get back to the all-star form that he was at when he made 5 straight all-star games from 2015 to 2019 in the midst of those 3 NBA championships. I'm just asking Klay Thompson to be close to what he was. And that is one of the best shooters in the history of the game and one of the best defenders in the NBA. So I like what the Warriors have done this offseason. I think Kuminga and Moody have really proven that they're legit cats and that they can play and contribute this year. It's a pretty deep roster. Steph Curry's still playing like an MVP. Deedle Speedle. Who will win Rookie of the Year? I think it's going to be Jalen Green, because I think his numbers this year are going to be very reminiscent of what Anthony Edwards did in his rookie year last year with the Minnesota Timberwolves, where he scored the ball a lot. Jalen Green, not only is he going to score the basketball a lot, he's going to be asked to score the basketball a lot. And you know who doesn't have any problem with getting shots up? It's Jalen Green. My man drips with swagger. He drips with an offensive arsenal where he has almost every offensive move in his pocket. I think Jalen Green has the potential to average around 20 points per game as a rookie. Jay Jello, can the Lakers still acquire Buddy Hield, or is that a long shot? It's a long shot because of the money issues. And I did see we got a super chat coming in on our live show, so we'll get to that before the end of this mailbag. But they're not going to be able to acquire Buddy Hield unless somehow they rid themselves of some of the salary cap numbers that they have currently on the roster. It's just not doable. You could have traded for Buddy Hield if you didn't make the trade for Russell Westbrook. But instead, the Lakers, where that Buddy Hield trade got really, really close, elected to go with Russ instead. Another $5 super chat coming in from the Autumn Wind. Thank you for that $5 super chat and supporting everything we do here at Chat Sports. What would be a trade package from the Jazz for Damian Lillard, and what could the Jazz's ceiling and floor B. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. It's not realistic for the Jazz to trade for Damian Lillard. It's just not. Because they don't have the player assets on the roster to attract the Portland Trailblazers. Because let's be honest, if the Blazers trade Dame, they're going to rebuild. And what pieces on the Jazz roster are you rebuilding with outside of Donovan Mitchell? Nobody, right? And you're not going to give away Donovan Mitchell in a trade for Damian Lillard because you want him to be a part of your franchise as long as he's upright and playing basketball. So it's just not realistic. Last question in this mailbag. John, if the Sixers hold on to Ben Simmons till the season start, is it possible he'd do a Kawhi and just not play? I totally think so. Ben Simmons is a very mercurial and confusing player. And Ben Simmons is somewhat stubborn, both with his personality and his game. People have been asking him for a really long time to shoot the basketball and improve, but hasn't. So, yeah, it would not surprise me if Ben Simmons just decided to pull a Kawhi Leonard and says, you know what? I don't want to play any longer on the Sixers. This relationship is tarnished. Doc Rivers, Joel Embiid threw me under the bus. I don't see how I can continue my career here. I don't think that's the craziest thing, John.